What did a day in your life look like while you were unhoused?
I was up by 6 a.m. Again, sleeping, on the sidewalk or in front of a store. You had to be up before everybody else was. I was either wet or freezing or extremely hot and burnt from the asphalt. I would get up, feel this sense of loneliness, loss, and despair, and just not wanting to live. Not wanting to live, not wanting to go on another day doing the same thing over again. Trying to find that next fix, trying to find something to eat, trying to stay out of the cold, and then facing ugly people again. It was not something I would wish on anybody. That feeling, that loneliness, that despair, the emptiness. It's an empty void. And the only thing that is there, people say heaven and hell. Homeless people live in hell every single day. That was my hell, is waking up homeless. That was my personal hell.
What was the biggest challenge when you were unhoused?
Transportation. To get a job, to get a place, you need transportation. And of course, public transportation needs money. To get public transportation, you need a job to get money to get somewhere. I think that our government needs to make more public transportation easily accessed. Maybe you go to the, Department of Social Services, put in an application stating you got a job and you got to get to it on such and such date, and they could give you a voucher for a bus. You know what I mean? There needs to be more access to transportation to get the jobs. We're not a big city. We're not. We have little chunks, of close-knit businesses. That's it. So transportation is a big thing. And if someone was able to get a job, then they could at least get off the street and get a weekly or a motel or something of that sort. So it would have to be transportation. Sometimes just a kind word and a hot cup of coffee can change somebody's life. It did for me.
What would you like people to know about being unhoused?
Being unhoused is, I'm not going to say it is the worst thing in the world, because losing somebody is bad. Losing a loved one, a child, a parent, a brother, a sister, that is bad. But homelessness is right up there, because you lose yourself. You lose respect for yourself. You lose self-dignity. You lose empowerment. You lose strength being homeless. And if you don't have willpower and you don't have confidence in yourself, you're not going to get a job. You're not going to want to get a job. You're not going to have the energy or strength to do it. It's difficult. It's hard. There's not any other word that could explain it. Being in a house is very difficult. It's one of the hardest things you'll have to experience. Like I said, one of the hardest things you have to experience. Because if you lose your housing, you lose your sense of home, of complacement, of your comfort, of your belonging. And if you don't have that, you're lost. They say home is where the heart is. Well, what happens when you have no home?